Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, we got the 6'7" Luka Doncic build in NBA 2K23. In my opinion, this is very easily simulated in-game. His style really fits this year's game. And also on that note, I'm probably only going to be posting NBA player videos if their gameplay actually does fit the game. So, in my opinion, this year's point forwards are crazy. Like, you really can be a tall dribbler and be extremely fast with the ball in your hands, still be really good at shooting the ball, and mash other teams' guards where you're just going to be able to dominate them in the paint. So, this right here is going to be the Luka Doncic build. Like I said, 6'7", 230 on the weight, 6'10" wingspan. We're going to go with a solid body shape. This is about as burly as we can get, and obviously, as we know, Luka is a little thick guy. Pause. He's real thick, though. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you do, for to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on the noties, all that good stuff. I know somebody's gonna be clowning me in the comments for that too, but anyway, if you do enjoy, let's try this one to 2,000 likes total. I'll drop the Zion build as well. I think his playstyle is extremely easy to like simulate in this game as well. So if we can get this 2,000 likes, I will drop that. But anyway, moving into the ratings, as you can see, we got 88 driving layup and 83 close shot. He's going to be able to dominate smaller guards in the paint, simple as that, but with finesse. Obviously, he's not exactly the most elite, like, finisher, so to say, as far as an athletic perspective. But what I did notice, to let you guys know, you actually can get quick drops off 2 for 65 driving dunk instead of quick drops off 1 being worth 80, which is by far a much better budget if we're talking just competitive sense, so to say, right? And obviously Luka is not the most extreme athlete anyway, so to be able to dunk with at least a semi-competitive aspect dunk is still really nice. Not to mention, this year's layups are really good. If you're 6'7", honestly, the only build that's probably blocking you from a chase down is an elite defensive player that's going to be guarding you. So again, I think driving layups really doable. You're going to be rocking that Hall of Fame Pro Touch too. I'm telling y'all, like, that combined with a good close shot and the driving layup is going to be so hard to guard for these smaller people. Plus, you still have Giant Slayer too if you want to go at the bigs. I think personally, putting things on that help you layup is a really good thing to do this year, especially for a build like this, for sure. So anyway, moving along, we have 92 three-pointer. This is going to give you goal limitless range. In my opinion, obviously, he is meant for stuff like this. He is a really good, just shoots from deep type guy. If we're being real, 92 three-pointer is probably a bit much for Luka, but when he's in the zone, I tell you what, that man can shoot for sure. So I feel like this is just good for the game to be able to just play on this as well with the 92 three-pointer, but also it just simulates when he is in his zone the most as well. Now, where you could say I maybe cut out on the build a little bit is 80 pass accuracy, but this is very good for the sake of this builder and just to be able to get really good animations. In case you guys don't know, there is pass style packages now, which you can get LeBron style at 75. You can get other really good ones at 80. I think 85 is another cutoff, and then Jason Williams is going to be worth 90. But either way, this is still going to simulate very good passing. If you wanted to go up on your personal one, though, instead of this, I would recommend to go 5 more pass accuracy for that Hall of Fame dimer. It was very hard to start budgeting things. If you wanted to be realistic about it and maybe just drop his driving layup, though, go ahead and do so. You could obviously put more into pass accuracy just off that, or if there's something that you feel like you can cut out on defense. Now, I think 16 defensive badges is doing Luka pretty proud. Like, he definitely does not have this many defensive badges. I thought it was just really hard to get some of his ratings right. So for instance, like, he obviously is a pretty solid rebounder. You're gonna want some of this pretty upgraded. He's a good offensive rebounder, defensive rebounder, whether it's a 5-out kickouts and he's still down there a little bit. I think he's definitely more of a defensive rebounder though. So if you wanted to drop one and put more toward the other, I think he's definitely more of a D-board guy. As far as his defense, I don't think he's a great interior defender personally. I just think that he is bigger than a lot of the people that he's usually matched up on. And being a 6'7" point guard just kind of leads to that as far as how you're going to play in the game too. You're just going to be taller, bigger than every other point guard that you matched up on. So 53 interior D will cut it when it comes to guarding those smaller people, at least in my opinion. You're not going to be a great defender, obviously. Neither is Luka though, so that just is what it is. Moving on to the physicals, we obviously have 79 speed, 74 excel. We gave him 82 strength for the silver bully, but to be real with you, you're probably not gonna be able to put the finishing badges on. I want to showcase to you what you could do though. So the stamina, 97. We have 4 extra badge points that you can equip in this game now that I have learned that. If you would like to, what you could do is you could put your extra badge points into your finishing and get 6 more. You would then be able to get 2 more badge points into the finishing, and you'd be able to get bully on silver, because you have to unlock at least 10 in tier 1 and tier 2 before you can even unlock the tier 3 to equip it. So you're going to need at least 16 to be able to equip the silver bully, which I think is actually very doable. And you don't need like limitless takeoff or slithery or posterizer to emulate Luka. In my opinion, he literally just can have silver bully, and then you could fill in with some of these other tier 1 and tier 2s like pro touch. You could have a little bit of fast twitch, maybe some masher, but this is where you're getting into some expensive badges, obviously, if you're going like super high on some tier 2s. So just understand, it's probably more like Pro Touch, maybe some Giant Slayer, maybe some Acrobat, and then you could maybe fit in Fast Twitch potentially, but you definitely want the Bully, so just fill 10 in between the tier 1s and tier 2s, and then go Silver Bully, because obviously that is his style. He's definitely going to just destroy like smaller matchups, and then like this is what I love about Luka, and it's fun to watch him too, because he just is such a matchup hunter. He goes for the small matchups and absolutely just bodies them in the paint with the thickness that we were talking about earlier, and just destroys the smaller bodies with his physicality. And it's such a cool physicality to watch too, because he's not like a crazy athlete like LeBron or anything like that, but he just like bullies people around and just pushes them, and like just uses his body contortion and stuff like that to be able to get himself some nice takes. And then when he's playing taller, maybe more elite defenders, he uses his ability to create his shots, and that's where we have the 89 ball handle, the 92 3-pointer, the 23 shooting badges, the 22 playmaking badges. Again, I probably cut his pass accuracy a little bit low. He definitely is an absolute bullet passer when it comes to just like reading a defense and just absolutely throwing heaters. So definitely something you could throw on a little bit higher if you wanted to change the build a little bit. Anyway, moving on to the takeover options, we have shot, sharp, and play. I think that also simulates him pretty good. I don't think glass takeover really makes sense on him. He definitely is a good rebounder though. Again, like for defensive rebound, he really does get his counts up for sure. I don't know if that's just the team being okay with him boosting some boards up, kind of like what Russ was doing back in the day, but either way, he's always just around the hoop and just there for stuff like that. He's rarely ever out on the fast break. If that's something you could notice about his game, he definitely is someone who's like guarding corner very often, grabbing rebounds, either throwing outlets or just pushing the ball very slow. Like I'm talking like he just is a very half-court offense kind of guy for sure. So we don't get the Luka comparison, but I think these are some pretty good comparisons as far as his play style. LaMelo Ball, James Harden, Halliburton for sure. Obviously, like I mean, at a lower scale for sure, but obviously LaMelo and James Harden, I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that play style, is very similar. Also, you know what? We can go ahead and just simulate some of his badges and what you're going to be able to actually run. So I'll make the cut to what the final counts are looking like, and just keep in mind, like I said, we can add a couple extra finishing badges to that situation. So we're probably not going to be able to actually put Masher on silver because we actually can't, but just keep that in mind. We'll just talk about what you actually can run. Alright, so for Luka right here, a nice little solid finishing badge category. Now, again, I would recommend to put 2 more badge points onto his finishing so you can get that silver bully, and just imagine that's there pretty much, because that's what I would definitely recommend to do. But gold Masher, and we end up core badging it. I don't think fast twitch really matters more than Masher. This is really going to destroy guards. I'm telling you, like, being 6'7" and still being able to shoot and dribble like you can with this build, and then being able to just destroy smaller guards too by just taking them in the post and just like absolutely demolishing them down there is crazy. And then not to mention too, if you have Masher paired with Pro Touch, your close shot and driving layup, if you have your layup meter on, is going to go insane. I've been making some crazy green layups with only 85 driving layup as well. With this one right here, when you have 88 and you have Hall of Fame Pro Touch too and the Masher, oh my god, it's gonna go crazy. So again, just imagine that bully is right here on silver, because that's definitely what the badge count would be. Alright, now if we're talking like from a competitive aspect, I think this is a pretty nice little badge count to run right here, where Gold Green Machine I think is a really smart idea, maybe even Hall of Fame as well. Space Creator though is the one that I wanted to be able to play like him. I mean, to just do the step backs and stuff like that and just be crafty with your game, I think would be so fun. I've seen a lot of people doing it in this game as well. Most of them content creators, most of them really good at this stuff, like Ticino, and there's still other people that have been doing the step backs and the hop shots and stuff like that and the spin jumpers, but there's been some crazy spin jumpers I've seen in this game, man. But again, Gold Limitless, Gold Deadeye, Gold Green Machine, Hall of Fame Space Creator, Hall of Fame Guard Up, and then Bronze on the Amped. I think if you wanted to simulate Luka a little bit more though, having things like Clutch Shooter could be a really smart idea. I think he obviously has that clutch gene in him for sure. And again, I mean, like it just definitely makes sense to have that. But personally, from a competitive aspect, I think this is like more like fun and more competitive. I think maybe Space Creator is the least competitive one here, but it definitely would be something fun to emulate his playstyle. All right, now look, for the playmaking, I want to talk again about realism versus emulating Luka. So obviously, when it comes to him, I think having post playmaker is such a smart idea, because like he's just such a good passer in any aspect of the word that it is, and to have Dimer and post playmaker would be really, really cool to like just simulate his playstyle, be a very good passer, and your teammates just hit off your shots. But in my opinion, you have to have quick first step, and we can get it on gold right here, but realistically, like, I mean, Hall of Fame is extremely usable and extremely nice to have. So I think if you were to just nerf his passing a slight bit and run something like this, where you have unpluckable, handles for days, Hall of Fame quick first step, then post playmaker, dimer, the bronze needle threader, mismatch expert for the reason of what I was just saying. If he gets bigger people matched up on him, he definitely tries to like use his finesse, whether it's step back threes, like we have the space creator, or for instance with mismatch expert that you can get past that bigger defender with a little bit more speed, so to say. Not to say that he's very fast, but definitely against taller bigs, he's going to use his finesse a little bit more. So I love the fact that this gets mismatch expert 100%. Bronze ankle breaker, I think it's reasonable to run. He's not very like super crazy in his bag, but I think it definitely is like okay enough to the point where bronze ankle breaker is reasonable. Bailout would be very nice to have though, as far as simulating his play style. I think that's the one thing we're extremely missing right here. So if you wanted to just go ahead and put that on, again, that's totally up to you. Alright, and then lastly, we have the defensive badge counts, obviously. So I think Silver Box Out Beast and Bronze Rebound Chaser make a ton of sense. Obviously, he's, again, a very solid rebounder and very solid out the corner when it comes to stuff like that. And then we have Off-Ball Pest on Bronze, Bronze Workhorse, Menace, Interceptor, Challenger, Ankle Braces. I think this is a very reasonable badge count to run right here. Maybe Clamps instead of maybe, I don't know, like, it really, honestly, I think this is a really good defensive badge count for him. And it will play very solid too. You'll definitely not be a great defender, but you can hold your own with this for sure. So anyway, that is all for video. Like I said, we have 4 extra badge points left over because we're going to plan to put 2 more right here. Anything else though that you can put 2 more is just bonus for your own interest. Like maybe for playmaking, if you wanted to be able to have some badge points for bailout. Obviously it costs 3 and then 4, but you could like knock something else off. Maybe you could just take ankle breaker off completely, or move post playmaker down to like bronze, and then boom, as you can see, then you get silver bailout. So be as simple as that. So anyway, that's all for video. Hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, if you made it to the end of the video, go ahead and put Luka in the comments. Sure, sports made all the way through. And like I said in the intro, let's try this one to 2,000 likes and we'll drop that Zion build for sure. So anyway, that's all for vid. Hope you all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.